4:30 a.m. The Hollywood Hills mansion sits silent in the darkness. Inside, chaos has just erupted. A frantic voice breaks through the night, a 911 call that will change everything. "We need help. Someone broke in. Please hurry." The operator's voice remains calm, professional, but the panic on the other end is unmistakable. Pop Smoke, born Bashar Baraka Jackson, lies on the cold floor of the bathroom. 20 years old, his debut album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, is weeks away from release. He had just posted an Instagram story hours earlier, showing off designer bags from the house. The location was tagged, a fatal mistake. The intruders wore masks. They moved fast, in and out in minutes. Now sirens wail up the winding Hollywood Hills roads. Red and blue lights cut through the pre-dawn darkness. But it's too late. The Brooklyn drill scene's brightest star, the voice that made Welcome to the Party and Dior anthems, is gone. Ambulances arrive, paramedics rush inside. The mansion, rented through Airbnb for $2.5 million, becomes a crime scene. Yellow tape surrounds the property as the sun begins to rise over Los Angeles. February 19th, 2020, the day the music world lost a legend before he could reach his full potential. This is the story of that night, and everything that led to it. Brooklyn, Canarsie, the projects where survival meant everything, where Bashar Baraka Jackson learned to navigate a world that demanded toughness. But he had something else, something nobody expected. A voice, deep, gravely, unmistakable. When Pop Smoke hit the booth, the streets stopped and listened. April 2019, Welcome to the Party drops. It's raw, it's aggressive, it's different. UK drill meets Brooklyn grit, and suddenly, everyone wants to know who this kid is. The numbers explode. Streams in the millions, cosigns from Travis Scott, from Nicki Minaj. This isn't just buzz. This is a movement. Pop Smoke isn't following trends, he's creating them. Meet the Woo debuts. Then Meet the Woo 2 hits number 7 on the Billboard 200. 20 years old, and he's already changing the sound of New York. But success comes with shadows. The same streets that raised him won't let go. Rivalries, jealousy, eyes watching every move. February 17th, 2020. Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills, Pop Smoke is celebrating. His album is coming, his moment is here. He posts on Instagram, the address visible in the background, a mistake he doesn't know he's made. The parties continue, the music blasts. February 18th, he's living like tomorrow is guaranteed, surrounded by friends, women, bottles, the California dream. 4:30 a.m., February 19th. The rental house on Hercules Drive goes quiet. Security cameras capture movement outside, shadows approaching, multiple figures, masks covering faces. At 4:55 a.m., someone calls 911. 20 minutes later, Bashar Baraka Jackson is pronounced gone. The Brooklyn Drill King's reign lasted 632 days. His impact will last forever. February 18th, 2020. The Hollywood Hills mansion on Hercules Drive. What should have been a celebration became the setting for a tragedy that would shake the music industry. Pop Smoke had rented the luxury property for just $2,000 a night. It was supposed to be a safe haven, a place to record, a place to escape. But in the age of social media, privacy is an illusion. At 11:20 a.m., a seemingly innocent post changed everything. One of Pop Smoke's associates uploaded a photo to Instagram. It showed the rapper in front of a black Mercedes. In his hand, a designer gift bag. And on that bag, clearly visible to anyone watching, was the address label. 2033 Hercules Drive. The post was live for less than 30 minutes before being deleted. But 30 minutes was all it took. Screenshots spread across group chats. The location was marked. The target was set. Surveillance footage later revealed what happened next. 4 individuals, wearing masks and dark clothing, arrived at the property just after 4 a.m. on February 19th. They parked down the street. They studied the mansion's layout. They waited for the right moment. At 4:29 a.m., they made their move. The security system showed them approaching from the rear of the property. One climbed onto the second-floor balcony. Within seconds, they breached the glass door. Inside, chaos erupted. Voices shouting, footsteps running through hallways. The intruders moved with precision, searching room to room. They found Pop Smoke in the master bathroom, attached to the bedroom. He was showering, completely vulnerable. What followed lasted 4 minutes. 4 minutes that would end everything. The confrontation was brief but devastating. Neighbors later reported hearing shouting, then a sound that echoed through the quiet hills. By 4:33 a.m., the intruders were fleeing. They ran back through the house, out into the darkness, leaving behind a scene that would haunt investigators. Pop Smoke was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but the damage was irreversible. At 5:21 a.m., Bashar Baraka Jackson, known to the world as Pop Smoke, was pronounced deceased. He was 20 years old. The LAPD launched an immediate investigation. Within days, they had traced the suspects through social media, surveillance footage, and digital footprints. 5 individuals were eventually arrested, including 4 juveniles. The oldest was just 20 years old. Detectives discovered the horrifying truth. This wasn't a targeted hit by rival gangs. It was a robbery. The suspects had seen the Instagram post, identified the location, and decided to strike. They believed the house would contain cash, jewelry, and valuables. They had no idea who Pop Smoke was. To them, he was just another target. One Instagram post, one visible address, one fatal mistake that cost a young artist his life and robbed the world of a rising star. February 19, 2020, 4:29 a.m. Surveillance cameras captured what investigators would call a targeted invasion. 4 masked figures, teenagers, moving with purpose through the Hollywood Hills darkness. The footage is chilling in its clarity. They approach the rental property on Hercules Drive. One climbs, another follows, their faces obscured, but their intentions unmistakable. They knew exactly where they were going. They knew exactly who was inside. Within minutes, everything changed. Forensic teams arrived at dawn. The evidence told a story of premeditation. Fingerprints, DNA, cell phone data that would unravel the entire conspiracy. Detectives traced digital footprints across social media platforms, Instagram posts, geotagged locations. Pop Smoke had unknowingly broadcast his exact address to millions. The suspects had been watching. Phone records revealed the coordination, text messages between the group, screenshots of the address shared repeatedly. They passed his location like currency, planning their approach for hours before executing it. The investigation moved fast. LAPD arrested 5 suspects within weeks. The youngest was 15 years old. Children, armed and organized. They had tracked him through his own posts, turned his success into a target. The trial exposed the brutal reality of social media vulnerability. Prosecutors presented the evidence, the surveillance footage, the phone records, the forensic connections. Defense attorneys argued about youth and circumstance. But the facts remained undeniable. These teenagers had hunted a rising star through Instagram stories and geotags. They had weaponized his visibility. His fame became his fatal flaw. Courtroom testimonies painted a picture of cold calculation. They knew who he was. They knew what he had. They knew he was alone in that house, separated from his security, exposed in luxury he had posted for the world to see. The surveillance footage played on loop during proceedings. Jurors watched those masked figures again and again. 4 teenagers who made a choice that destroyed families, ended a life, and extinguished one of hip-hop's brightest futures. Pop Smoke was 20 years old. His alleged attackers, some still children themselves, now faced decades behind bars. A generation lost on both sides of a senseless tragedy. The evidence was overwhelming. The verdict inevitable, but no amount of justice could bring back Bashar Jackson. No sentence could restore what was taken that morning in the Hollywood Hills. February 19, 2020. The music stopped. Pop Smoke, just 20 years old, was taken in a Hollywood Hills mansion during a home invasion. 4 men, early morning darkness, a life of infinite potential, erased. The arrests came swift, juveniles. A robbery gone wrong, they said. But the questions? They never stopped. Was this random? A crime of opportunity? Or something deeper? The location was leaked, his own Instagram post showing the address on a gift bag. A rookie mistake that cost everything. But who was watching? Who was waiting? The investigation revealed the suspects followed social media breadcrumbs. They tracked his movements, they knew he was there. But prosecutors have never confirmed whether this was pure robbery or if someone pointed them in his direction. Gang affiliation surfaced in the case. Pop's Wu ties, Brooklyn streets reaching all the way to California. To this day, nobody knows if someone from his past ordered the play. 4 defendants faced justice. Some took plea deals, conspiracy, robbery, homicide. But the mastermind question remains unanswered. No kingpin emerged, no clear motive beyond theft. His mother, Audrey Jackson, still fights, still demands answers. She's turned grief into activism, pushing for truth, for clarity, for closure that may never come. Pop's death sent shockwaves through hip-hop. The rules changed overnight. Rappers stopped posting locations in real time. Security doubled, tripled. The flex culture that built careers became a liability. Artists learned, visibility is currency, but it can also be a target. Drake, 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, they all mourned. They all learned. The industry shifted. Private jets replaced commercial. Airbnb addresses stayed secret. The cost of fame got calculated differently. Because Pop Smoke showed us that talent doesn't protect you. Success doesn't shield you. And sometimes, the people watching aren't fans. His music outlived him. Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon debuted at #1 posthumously. Over 3 billion streams. A blueprint for Brooklyn Drill's global takeover. But his mother still wants names, still wants the full story. Because 4 arrests don't explain everything. Don't answer why her son, with everything ahead of him, had to become another cautionary tale. The streets remember. The charts remember. But the truth, still buried somewhere between conspiracy and chaos. Pop Smoke's legacy is eternal, but the mystery of his final hours, that remains unfinished business.